G Show, Peter G Show, Peter G Show, Peter G Show. Divorced dad, single dad, divorced dad, single dad. Peter G Show.
Oh yeah. Oh baby. It's showtime. Can you dig it? I knew that you could. What is going on? Everybody. Sunday night. Sunday night's really great to be here, as always. The week. If anybody thinks that they got problems in their lives and they're the only ones that have problems in their lives, buddy, do I have news for you. You're not alone. We all share the ass aches. We'll talk about that a little later. Right now, welcome to Sunday Night Life with Peter G, the Peter G Show, right here on Facebook. That's right. I'm excited tonight. Tonight I'm doing something that we've been talking about for a while. It's been in the works. And somebody who was gracious enough to lend their time, who I like a lot. Tonight, right here live on the Peter G Show, we're going to do the first of what I hope to be many segments, monthly segments, called East Meets West. That's right. I'm going to have the infamous East Coast radio talk show host, Mr. Bob Paff, join me just about once a month on a segment we're going to call East Meets West. I like the ring to that. It's got a nice tone. You know, he's got different things going on in his life, and the East Coast, I mean, there's definitely, look, every part of the country has its own little things, and you live in your little bubble and things like that. So he brings up many great valid points and many great things, and tonight I'm going to have him on the show to co-host this show with me, and I'm very thankful and proud of that. And we're going to talk about the things that he brings up on his... He has a Friday evening show in Baltimore, and we're going to talk about things like that and just bounce off each other and things that I think are going to be important to you because they're important things that are important. Yeah, I know. Anyway, thank you. Last week I thought was unique on my part. I don't go there, but it was sure fun. Last week we had V from the Red Pill Hardcore show, who broadcasts worldwide on the Republic Network broadcasting system. And he was, he's a different individual. We were talking, he's about government conspiracies, 5G, mind control, chemtrails. I mean, all the stuff that I never get to touch. And I'm glad we touched on it. I think a lot of people were interested. There are tinfoil hats you can put on. And I think we're going to be talking to him more in the future, too. Hang on a second. The first thing I want to do is, I got to do this. I want everybody to start a watch party. Oh, wait. Before we do this, now let's start a watch party. I want everybody to hit the share button. I got to do it too. Hit the share button on your mobile device or whatever you're watching. And hit the share. When you hit the share button, it right up, underneath, it comes up and says, hey, you want to start a watch party? And I'm putting, watch. And start your own watch party. There we go. And I'm hitting here we go. Oh, yeah, I just hit start a watch party on one of my pages. I love it. I like it. It's all up to you. How much did the cheesy intro cost? It was on sale. What cheesy intro was that? I have so many. Anyway, so I want everybody to just go to your thing and your device you're watching on and start a watch party, please. First, I got to bring this up so I can read your texts, because, why am I not seeing that, Peter? Peter, here comes Peter. Sorry, this all takes a second because I'm a little... Oh, there you go, Nick. Thank you, Nick. Nick, New York Nick. There you go. Started. Yeah, you shared my video. I appreciate it. Doesn't it have start a watch party button? They can do it all. You like it? You like having a party together. Why can't I bring up my stuff? That's a good question. Let's try that again. Anyway, I want everybody to start watch parties because that's what's making this show happen, and I truly appreciate all of you. And again, speaking of appreciating, I could not be here if it wasn't for my beloved Bolt Energy. Bolt Energy, the only energy drink with no preservatives. Why Bolt Energy? I just told you. It's the only energy drink with no preservatives. It's awesome. I like the way it tastes. Electrify your senses. Go out and get you some Bolt Energy. If you can't find Bolt Energy, ask your store clerk or whatever. Say, hey, where's that Bolt Energy? You keep asking for it. They'll find it. They'll get it. If you're looking for Bolt Energy, go to www.drinkboltenergy and write to them. Say, hey, where can I find this Bolt Energy Peter G from the Peter G Show speaks of? And they'll tell you how you can find it, or if you can find it, or how they can get it to you. They're growing. It's not easy, people. It's just like this show. Just push, push, push. It's a non-stop, no sleep, take no prisoners. I'm going to pop open a can real quick. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah. It's refreshing. I like it really, really cold. Makes me happy. All right, so tonight, let's see what else I got. So I want to get him on. Oh, real quick. The AmericaStrongUSA.org. We'll be talking about that at the end of the show. I'll give away 2 more wristbands. Hey, Pete. Paul, you're killing me. Every week, I'm like a broken record. All this insider joke trading. Anyway, America Strong. They're doing a wristband challenge. I want everybody to go to AmericaStrongUSA.org. Look up their wristband challenge. You can get a wristband. It's like $5. What's $5? That's a Starbucks. Get a couple. Put one on. Make a 6-second video. Upload it to their website. Hey, I'm so-and-so from so-and-so, so-and-so, and I am a supporter of the America Strong USA Wristband Challenge. They're supporting all your healthcare workers, your first responders, your law enforcement. The people you think that don't need help actually need help because they're helping you. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. I'm going to give away 2 wristbands. Just want to get that out there right now. I love these guys. I love what they're doing. They're really, really passionate about what they're doing. And if you know me, it's like when I believe in something, just like this show and Bolt Energy, and when I believe in something, I go for it. I don't, again, take no prisoners. I believe in what I believe. We'll talk about that after the show. Make sure you start those watch parties. All right. Just about that time. I got 2 more minutes. We'll be calling Bob Paff. And we're going to be... I'm basically going to let him lead, and I'm going to feed off of that and go back. And that's why it's East meets West, not West meets East. But should be pretty darn good, because Bob Paff is no slouch, and he's another passionate one. That's why I like having him on the show. Share, people. That's what I need to do, too, huh? Share. Yeah. Still can't get the text up here. Why? Sorry, I'm focusing, trying to stay focused. Everything's coming up but what I want to come up. Nick. Oh, there I am. Hey, how about that shit? Be good if I know what I'm doing. All right. I think we're going to give Bob a call and get this party started. How's that? I get a lot of texts during the week. The reruns, the repeats. Don't forget, all this stuff goes on during the week. You can easily you can easily, watch and share during the week. It's a real good thing because I know a lot of people, can't stay up late and all that kind of stuff. And anyway, let's give old Bob a call here and see what's going on. Oh yeah, one ringy dingy. What did I just do wrong? One ringy dingy. Who is it? Who is it?
Hey.
Hello. Uh-huh.
I'm here.
You're here. I know. I don't see you, though.
1 second.
Okay. Are you in your jammies?
There. Yeah. Hello?
I see. I hear you. I don't see you.
Why is it telling me to... Oh, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, that's okay. Take two. I'm here all
Telling
night.
me to use the passcode. There you are.
Hey.
There you are. There you are. There you are.
Yeah. Hey, anyway, turning that camera sideways?
Yeah. No, I'm moving.
okay.
Moving into my space.
Okay. Hey, get into your space. I want you in the moment.
Look at you. You're all dressed up, and
Hey,
I am in my pajamas.
You know
here,
what?
man.
It's what I do. You know what? I thought about that. I go, that's going to great. You should wear one of those, like, the nightcaps. The nightcaps.
Yeah.
And because that'd be cool, because I know I'm keeping you up late. And
You are. You are keeping me
hang
up.
on 1 second. Let me start from the beginning. Ladies and gentlemen, the infamous East Coast Bob Paff calling in, or I'm calling, keeping him up all night for our first East Meets West live right here. Right here. Thank you for doing what you're doing tonight. Are you leaving me again? Where are you going?
No, I'm here. I had to go and get my other pair of glasses.
No, don't say that. You forgot your beer. Don't.
Right.
I love it. I love it. We're doing good. Okay, so let me get you up here audio-wise. You sound good. I can see you. And you can see
There we
me.
go.
Let me get
I
rid of
can.
Yeah, cool. So anyway, how you doing?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Tired.
You're tired. I gotcha. Well, again, once a month I saw what I if
That's
you can,
all right.
Yeah.
It's all right. I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good.
Hey, look,
It's good.
I believe me, we're all pulling the midnight shift nowadays. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right,
But
so
you've got a
go ahead.
nice picture of the city behind you there.
I do. I always do. It's all about the view. So I came to you. I mean, you've been gracious enough. You've been on my show probably three or four times now.
I think so.
And you've been gracious enough because I do follow you. And I'm big fan.
I follow you.
Big fan. Yes. And again, I feel that we share a lot of the same stuff in different ways. I mean, you have a different way of presenting things. I'm a little bit off the, I color outside of the lines a little bit, but we both are passionate about what's going on.
Correct.
And all the more reason I said, what better? I said, if you'd be kind enough to come on, and I've been wanting to do this whole video thing, and I could have done it years ago, but I just kept to keep it simple, stupid, and now I'm having to conform because I don't know that finally I'm coming, everything's coming to light. So it's beginner steps, but you came on and I said we need to get together and I want to discuss things that you discuss on your Friday night shows here because I truly believe that you're in your world over there on the East Coast, I'm in my world over here on the West Coast. I try to keep my finger on the pulse, but we all touch on different things.
Right.
So
Correct.
So what better than to when I'm sitting there and I don't know how the heck I came up with whatever. It was like the East Meets West thing. I go, I like the ring to that. And if you would do this, I think it'll be a good little thing to touch on once in a while. I think my people / AKA your people would possibly appreciate this.
I agree.
So,
I agree with you.
With that being said, here we are, the first segment of East Meets West, Bob Paff, Peter G. on here. So I'm going to say to you, so you did your Friday. I didn't get to catch your Friday night show. It's been, I was going to get into that. I ran out of time. This week has been an ass ache for me. I mean, my life is not any bowl of cherries. And, I'm not afraid to tell people that I can tell you and make believe everything is awesome and I'm this, Hollywood thing, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's the constant struggle to be where you're at, keep where you're at, and keep all the balls in the air juggling. I don't have, I don't have people, doing everything for me. I have a few, but believe me, it's all hands on deck. So that's why I wanted to reach out to you and go, okay, I didn't get to see your show Friday night or see what you were talking about. Normally I just touch base on it just to get a grip on what you're doing. And,
Right.
and I just lost track of that, and here we are at Sunday already. So,
Yeah.
but I do want to let you select what you think might be important tonight to pass around, to share with everybody, because your audience is going to be my audience and vice versa, which is, not necessarily a bad thing, but I want to share you with my audience because you're worth it.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you.
So what did you do, or anything better? I mean, I don't, you pick a topic and we just go from there.
Well, Friday's show, since you were talking about that, was all about. Here you go. Look, this guy that you've seen what I'm doing here, and
Yes.
what I've been telling people is I turned 60 in June, and this is the most important mayoral election of my lifetime. It really is. I mean, Baltimore is in crisis mode. The crime and the racial tension and all the things that are going on here, and the systemic corruption, just all of it's really bad. So I've thrown myself into this race for this guy. So we had some people on the show Friday who are educators, who are just, city residents, and why this guy, and what do you think the problems are now? So we talked about that. But, Peter, we've got a lot of problems here that other cities, and I try not to be political. I try to really I look at right, wrong, black, white. I don't like to label people, well, it's all the Democrats are doing this and all the Republicans are doing that.
Right.
But the fact is, Baltimore, a lot of the problems that we have here as an historically Democratic city, we have not had a Republican mayor since 1967. A lot of other problems, cities like Chicago. You know what's going on in Chicago with the murder rate there,
Sure.
and the
Especially
violence
now.
and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So we have a lot of those same issues, and so I've been very outspoken about that whole thing and my support of Bob Wallace and being involved, being on the executive committee to elect him and all those things, all, volunteering stuff. And so we did that last week. We talked, we had some folks on, we did a show on human trafficking.
Right.
I had no idea. It's $150 billion criminal enterprise, as Joe Sweeney, my guest, who founded the Acervo Project, talked about $150 billion. And obviously now with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, that's how you pronounce that first name. I think it's Ghislaine, right? And I just saw something where the judge has agreed to release the documents. Like let's see who's on that list. Let's see who's on that little black book. Which man, I'm telling you, we got to expose this stuff, and I'm getting more vocal about that. I was watching a 60 Minutes episode earlier about refugee kids and how long people wind up in this whole refugee lifestyle and world and all that. It's just horrible. I mean, look at the problems we've got in this country. And yet, we've got so much wealth here, but then you've also got so many problems that I take it on, and it hurts my heart. I really do.
Hang on a second. Here, first of all, with this whole, you're out there, trying to get a decent man in for Baltimore.
Correct.
You're working your ass off. I can,
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell you do it, but my hat's off to you. That's
Thank
a
you.
lot of work. That's
It is
that's a
work.
full-time job right there.
It is. It is. And I like you. I don't have people. I do everything I do myself. You were talking about how things are not as whatever you said looking rosy, but you know that I lost my son last year. This was a tough week. July 21st would have been Zach's 35th birthday.
Yeah.
So it was a very, very tough week, and I take a birthday card. It's the second birthday that since he's been gone.
Right.
And I take a birthday cake out to the cemetery and went out there with one of my older sons, and that's tough.
One day at a time, Bob.
That's tough. Yeah.
One day at a time.
I hear you.
And the time flies really fast. I mean,
It does.
And you just kind of, I'm not even going to tell you. I can imagine. I've told you that before because it's beyond my imagination. But okay, so you're busting your ass for Bob Wallace. You believe in this man to try to straighten up. I mean, right now the whole country is in that position that you're trying to do.
Correct.
But Baltimore is a tough city. That is always been like
it is.
It's to me it's up there, kind of like Detroit style. I mean, maybe.
Oh
I'm
yeah. No,
maybe
I
I'm
think
wrong.
we're worse than. No. You're absolutely right. And I made that comparison, and somebody said, "Oh, more like Detroit prior to the bankruptcy," because apparently Detroit is experiencing a renaissance. if I can use that word. I haven't followed
Shit.
Detroit,
Yeah.
but Baltimore is compared quite regularly with Detroit, and I think we're worse. I think we're worse. 348 murders last year, and we're on target to beat that this year.
Wow. Well,
348.
Yeah, and right now
so-
there's an excessive amount, and again, who do you blame? Who's doing this? What's behind all this? Something's going on. I'll be glad when November
Something
is
is
over.
going on.
Yes,
Yeah.
but it's sad. It's sad, sad, sad.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, right? After the November election, things will just kind of get back to normal or
A
quiet down
miracle.
or whatever.
A
right?
miracle,
Isn't that
yeah.
a miracle?
I don't know.
Yeah, how did that happen?
I don't know if it'd be right away, but I mean, somebody's gonna be pissed off. Well,
Right.
one side or the other is going to be pissed off, and then we're going to go into the I demand a redo, and
Yeah, yeah.
But-
Yeah, as I say, I try not to get political, Peter, but
Yeah.
when I look at it, I think regardless of anybody's politics. Listen, on the same day, I've been called a Trump cultist and a vicious liberal. So I know I must be doing something right if I was called both on the same day.
Bob, at this day and age, look, there was two things I swear I wasn't going to get into on my show:
Yeah,
politics and religion.
yeah,
I am totally in right now. I can't help it.
Yeah.
I can't help
Yeah.
it because your life is at stake.
correct.
And
It's
people
true.
you care about. And again, I've said it a million times. You're talking to people who don't believe in your beliefs, and you're going, I don't understand how you can't see that. And they're looking at you going, I don't understand how you can't see that. You
Right.
know? And so it's
Right.
a clusterfuck. It really.
Yeah,
I just swore.
it is.
Yeah.
But when I look at the Democrats and I think, here's a guy. You look at Biden, and I'm thinking, is this the best the Democrats can put up?
That's what I'm saying. Is that the best you got?
Right. He's
And-
been
and-
around for 50 plus years. What's going to make? It's like, listen, Peter. It's like this guy, this kid who's a kid. He's 36 years old or so. Who was the Democratic nominee for mayor, and he's been in politics all his life, all 14 years. And I say, so how come all of a sudden you have the answers? Right?
Yeah.
I think I saw a sign for him today, and it said, what was his slogan? A new direction forward or whatever. And I said, really? You've been doing this for 14 years. Why all of a sudden, look at Biden, 50 years. So what's going to make this different?
Right.
Plus, he's almost 80. He's almost 80, right? So
Look, we're down to how many months to election, and who's his vice president?
that's true too. Yeah,
I don't get it. What are you waiting for?
Yeah,
Because
Yeah.
that counts on who you believe in too.
sure.
Show me
Yeah,
your predecessor or your backup or your main man or woman or whatever. And it's like we're down to a couple of months from now, and there's no talk of that. I don't get it.
Yeah, I agree.
I respect everybody's opinion, but I just see a lot of people that are close getting to big arguments over this crap, and it sucks.
Oh yeah.
And it's far from over. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, it's far from over. I mean, every day you wake up and listen, nothing would surprise me. I don't know how you feel, but I've reached the point where, I thought I had seen. I've never seen in my 60 years. I've never seen this country the way it is. It's really horrible.
No, this is a
horrible.
The fiasco that has gone on, the feats people have gone to create what's going
Correct.
on is beyond imagination. It's like, how could you
Right.
do this?
Right.
But it's doing.
Right.
Speaking of how you could do this, you're talking
Yeah.
about trafficking,
Human trafficking.
human trafficking. I was going to say sex trafficking. It's all the same.
Well, it's all part of it. I
all
think
part of it.
most of the time we think it's the sex part of it, and that is a large part of it. But is also labor force and selling people for cheap labor and all those kind of things like that. But again, $150 billion is incredible, and this goes at the highest levels of politics and corporate America and the world of entertainment.
It doesn't seem possible. It's like, what kind of piece of crap are you
Yeah.
to sit there and like you're trading, an inanimate object, a piece of wood, a lumber.
Right.
I don't know. I don't have that in me. You know what I mean?
No, and Peter, some of these kids are as young as 5 months old,
Again,
11 months old.
how dead are you?
Yeah. No, it's we had a story about a young girl who her mother was selling her out for sex when she was about 5 or 6, and then when she was about 11 or 12, she sold her for $7,500. Sold her, and the girl was able to escape, which it's very difficult for them to do. When she was 21 or 22, she was able to get out from under all that. But her mother literally sold her for $7,500 when she was 12 years
And
old.
by then, if you've been going
For drugs.
if you've been that bad under that kind of for that long. How do you
Yeah.
even know? You're so broken by then.
That's true.
How do you even have the will to understand there's a different life?
Correct.
Because
Correct.
you've been kept down, and I don't understand. I really don't.
Yeah. No. That's listen. I'm always reading. I've been married and divorced twice, and I've lost a son, so I've had a lot of these traumatic psychological events that I'm always trying to put into perspective. But something like that, and I was molested by a priest when I was 16 years old. I think I've shared that with you.
Yes, you have.
On a prior show, and all these things do become part of us. There's a great book called "The Body Keeps the Score."
Yep.
So we take on this trauma and we hold it.
And even though that happened to you, you still managed to remain religious to your
I
same
am.
faith,
I do.
and not lose faith in your faith.
Correct, which is pretty remarkable. A lot of people, and I understand. I've done shows on this about the abuse in the Catholic Church, and I get it. And who am I to judge anybody for whatever? Some people have turned away from the church, and I understand it. There's some people that had horrific experiences. Mine wasn't so horrific. Still, nonetheless, shouldn't have happened, but not as horrific as some other people. But for some reason, I have not turned away from the church. I think part of it for me is I don't look at my relationship as being with the church. I look at my relationship as being with God.
Right.
So I look at on more of a spiritual perspective than with a man or a woman in clerical garb, if that makes any sense. And I've been able to separate the two.
Wow.
So
again, a lot of people get scorned, and I can't blame.
Yeah.
them. I can't blame.
I can't blame them.
because you
I
can't
don't blame
understand
them.
how can this be happening. But yet there's been years I've been hearing about this since I was a child.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can this be happening? And it's still happening, and how they bury it and cover it over, and I again, there's so much that I don't understand. We all live our lives, and we just keep on going, and I don't get it, but here it is.
Well, the latest, Peter, this ex-cardinal in Washington, D.C., I can't remember his name. That was terrible. I want to say McCarrick or Mc something, who they believe now was operating a child sex ring out of a beach house, I think, in New Jersey.
Now how crazy does that sound?
Right.
How does that?
Well, how crazy does it sound, and how do you hide something like that in this day and age?
How do you become
where
a
were
priest?
the neighbors?
What was his title?
It's Cardinal.
Cardinal. So you're way up there. You're beyond
You're way up
priest.
there.
You're this
You're way up
holy, holier than holy person.
Yeah, they're the princes of the church.
You're
they're
not-
the ones who act like royalty.
that
They're
is-
one step below the Pope.
Then you're not that holy. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like
Exactly.
how can you go through all that to become that person and
Correct.
become this other person?
Correct.
That is the
Correct.
craziest stuff. Just like I'm hearing a lot about this whole Hollywood stuff now because we can't
Yeah.
help it.
Yeah.
Why, in God's name, would you want to? I mean, I don't even understand the desire. I don't get it. You got all the money you need. You're a movie stars and this and that, and you got to resort to that.
Right.
I don't know what you've learned because I haven't really dug into it. But again, you're
Well,
more
I
than
think what a lot of people, I've learned a lot, and I think we do things to take care of what's called the protective self. We do all these external things because we don't do the work inside that's required. So we're always seeking this external gratification, whether it's buying expensive toys or sex or drugs or alcohol or whatever, Peter, that basically numbs us. And it's called the protective self. So we just don't, most people don't, quite honestly, do the hard work. Most people, it's painful to do that. If you want to relive those memories and go through the analysis and listen, when my second marriage ended, I thought I was a good Catholic boy, was going to be married forever until the first wife cheated on me. And then I ended the second marriage. But the point of that whole thing is you got to go back and do the work. And I traced it all the way back to my parents' marriage and my father's behavior, my mother's reaction to it, and my processing of it. I was 10 years old when I discovered my father was having an affair with my mother's best friend.
right.
And then I told my mother he was.
Oh boy.
How many 10-year-olds, exactly,
Oh, boy.
how many 10-year-olds should be put in that position?
Yeah,
None.
Yeah, it's something you've taken with you. I mean, you don't forget.
I've
that.
taken with me.
You
You don't forget that.
No.
Oh, no, I can see them together. I caught them together.
Right.
And my father's been dead since 1991.
Wow.
And I buried him. I paid for his funeral. So he came back into my life the last 2 years of his. And we resolved our issues before he died. But we take those things with us, and those are difficult things to look at. And I don't want to spend the rest of the time that I have on this earth dealing with all this shit. If I can say that.
You don't, but yet you do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here we are talking about it, which is good.
Correct.
But you're
Correct.
not letting it drive you down. But
Right.
it is. Look, I don't know what it is.
It's heavy, man.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
about a lot of things when I shouldn't be thinking about things, if that makes sense. And
Yeah.
and everything from the passing of my parents. I mean, I miss my parents. You know, I love my parents
Yeah.
very much. And there's just times when I get really, really church this morning. Facebook, because a lot of churches online now, you know,
Right.
and I'm
Oh,
Greek
right, the whole
Orthodox.
virtual
I'm
thing.
Greek Orthodox,
Yeah.
and Greek Orthodoxes, those guys are to the book, straight, the hardcore, old school.
Yeah.
There's no rock church and singing, you know, praising
Right.
the Lord and all that. It is a divine liturgy that has been taken from centuries to centuries, and for
Right.
some reason. I was flipping through Facebook, and there was a church service. I don't know how it came to me through one of my Greek Orthodox church pages, and it was from Greenville, New York, or Green something, New York, and it was a different church, and there was an archdiocese. It was somebody that was doing the service, and I watched it this morning for about 30 minutes.
Wow.
And
Wow.
and I, for some reason, when I'm at my weakest point when I'm in church. I don't know what it is. I just feel very vulnerable. I think about a lot of the things that pass through my head that,
Yeah.
that nothing bad, but just the people I miss in my life, and it's just the strangest thing.
So is that a safe place for you when you're doing that? When you're in that place?
I don't feel safe or unsafe, but I mean, it just brings out the most deepest things in me to start thinking about.
Huh.
I don't know why. I have no regrets. It's not bad. It's
Wow.
not good. But yeah. I mean, look, I know. I've been before this show starts, I say a little prayer.
Yeah.
When I get up in the morning, before I walk out that door, I have this little. My father was the same way, and I guess I'm kind of a little bit the same way. But I have this little bit, a little area like on my dresser that has a couple little icons and things like that. And I'm not,
That's very nice.
I'm not super religious, but I have my faith. And I
Right.
figure, you know what? I need all the help I can get. Look at how crazy everything is, and I'm banging
Yeah.
my head against the wall. And I'm going,
Yeah.
imagine if I didn't do this. I don't know.
Correct.
But
I agree with you.
before I walk out that door, and I mean, I literally have had days where now there is once in a while where I just walk, I'm running, I'm late, and I
Yeah.
forget. But I've stepped out the door and stepped back in to go do a 30-second little close my eyes and thank for the day. Yeah, and before I go to bed, same thing.
That's awesome, man.
That's just me. Again, I don't.
That's great.
No, I know, but I am not. I'm not saying this to my people. It's like you do what you
Yeah.
want. I just feel there's.
Well, you're doing what you need to do to get you through.
And all I'm telling you is, and I'm still banging my head. So to
Yeah.
me, I'm going.
Imagine if you weren't doing
Yeah,
that.
well, there's no harm in it. I lost
Right. That's
a
right.
couple of minutes out of my day for
Right.
just having some form of like positivity. You know what
That's
I mean?
right.
And
Right.
and again through these years, these past since my divorce and all that kind of stuff, which created my divorce created who you're looking at right now, good or
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
I was not this guy. I was this guy, but I wasn't this guy to do this show. And
You were a bank president, weren't you? Living in a mansion or something.
and so I loaded up the truck and I moved to Beverly.
I couldn't resist.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But my life was different. My life it was
Right.
totally music driven, and I was happy in my world, and it had its ups and
Wow.
downs. But I mean, I
Yeah.
loved what I did, and I liked who I was, and I still like who I am. It's just I've rebuilt myself because I had to change things, and I'm thinking to myself, it's like I think everybody needs to have some form of accountability.
Yes.
But some, I don't know. I've gotten to the point where now, like, today, I just feel like this past couple of days, I'm struggling. I'm trying to do a real estate venture here, and I'm having a real hard time.
Okay.
Where I'm living, I'm trying to buy where I live, and it's just it's been a roller coaster ride
Really?
because of this COVID thing, and it just yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been at the point where I don't want to sit there and pray, oh, please let me get this or please let that. It's like, thank you for letting me just be able to try.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know you both, and we all know that we've got friends and obviously family, and that can't do that.
Right.
Their number was up or whatever, and I'm here. Thank you for letting me be here to try, but Jesus, it's driving me crazy. Why do I have to keep smashing my head against the wall to get to where I'm going? I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not asking for anything for free, but it's a long, hard haul, and just give me the strength to keep going because I'm not backing down.
Yeah. No, I'm reading. I don't know if you've heard of Joe Dispenza. He's a quantum physics and all this kind of stuff, and really talks about again the body holding on to everything and us really reliving that trauma and the triggers and all that kind of stuff, Peter, that we go through and try to sort of release that. Listen, we're always living most of our lives either in the past, right? We're lamenting the past,
A lot of people.
or we're worrying about the future.
I think
Right?
both.
Think about it.
Both.
No, and that's what he says. That's where we are. We're either in the past, worrying about that, or we're worried about the future, what hasn't happened yet. And, I've seen the studies that say most of the stuff that we worried about, 80 or 90% of it never happens, but we worried about it anyway. So we have a hard time being mindful. So, the concept of mindfulness is really staying in that space. And you got to make a conscious effort, I'm telling you now, because I do with myself. I'll catch myself now saying, and I work with an energy healer. I'll share it with you. He's a Facebook friend. He's terrific, and he's helped me out a lot. So much so that a couple of people went to him and said, Bob's lighter, sounds lighter, feeling lighter, whatever. I wish I looked lighter. But anyway,
Yeah,
I keep telling everybody, he says, I lost 10 or 20 pounds. Like, well, I found it.
Yeah.
But anyway, but it's if I find myself going there, and what Gregory will say to me is, I'll give you an example. The family home that I lost in 2015 is back on the market again, and it's right around the corner from me. Mm-hmm. And my daughter and I were out tonight. We were going to get some ice cream, and we saw it. And I walked in and looked at the pictures, and it just brought up all those memories.
Yeah.
And I sent it to my friend, my energy healer, and I said, "This breaks my heart." He basically said, "Well, okay, but don't let it break your heart too long, and then move on." But again, so the living in the past thing, right?
I know, but that would drive me crazy.
All those memories and all that stuff, and it's like, and my daughter was born in that house, and I'm looking at it, and like, a lot of the stuff that I did to it is still there. They kept it, and I was like, but we do. We live in that place as to, and I'm with you. If I hadn't gone through the things that I've gone through, I wouldn't have my second radio show. I wouldn't have done the television that I've done. I wouldn't have done National Geographic. I wouldn't have written a book. I wouldn't be involved in this mayoral campaign. I wouldn't be. My life would be entirely different. Mm-hmm. Not good, bad, whatever, but it would just be different. And that's how we have to look at it. Like, who knows? Good, bad, whatever. I've lost a lot of those material trappings that people use to identify themselves. Mm-hmm. And I do believe, Peter, that everything, and this is not just an excuse for it or a way of dismissing it, but things happening for a reason. But we need to process those and say, okay, what's the lesson I'm supposed to be learning here?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What's the takeaway?
Yeah.
And I spend a lot of time there. And so when people talk about the difference between being religious and spiritual, I consider myself both. But and I get the difference, but I consider myself both. But I really do believe that what are the lessons here? What am I supposed to take away from this whole thing? But for me, my son died on January 21st of 2019. I'm telling you, guy, he was 33 years old. That was like, okay, God, what the hell am I supposed to take away from that? Why? And I wouldn't be human if I didn't. Why?
Yeah, sure. No, I think a lot of people, that's the biggest question. Why?
Oh my God, it's the worst pain ever.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this. Nothing can hurt me worse than that. I've experienced life's worst pain. So losing shit, if you will, losing this or losing that or not having the new car or the whatever, doesn't matter anymore when it comes down to losing something like that. And sometimes, because you try to find the silver lining in all the things, Peter, we have to.
I know, but
we have to.
I found that a lot of people can't stop living in the past.
Correct.
When I first started the show, it was originally called the Jim and Peter Show because I met somebody who in the park who was going through the same stuff I was going through, and when we were talking to each other, it was like we were twins. And
that was Jim, right?
Yeah, and that was Jim, okay. and it was funny because he was a funny guy, and I said to myself, no, I'm with you. Don't worry, we're still here.
Got it. I'm here.
There you go, brightening it up. That's good because we can't see your face very good. That's so much better.
Better?
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Yep.
I was going to tell you after the show, but
no. I figured you would, and I noticed it. But
I want them to see that shining face.
There we go. Go ahead,
you handsome devil, you. Okay, so the thing was with Jim, and again, I saw all this stuff. I saw the future. And I'm going, this is funny. This is sad, silly, stupid funny because we would stand outside our kids' school bitching about stuff. And I go, we need to be filming this because we're not alone.
Wow.
But the problem was, unfortunately, when we finally, years later of talking about it, because our ideas were bigger than our budget, and we finally started trying to do it, he wasn't happy with that, backing it down, crawling before you can walk. And the thing was, he kept saying, I used to be able to do, I used to be able to do this, I used to. I'm telling you, that paragraph I just said has been said on many shows that I have been on because it bothered me because I truly felt it could have been good bantering with him. But the problem was there was more to it than that. We had to create, we had to produce. There wasn't, like I said, I didn't have the multi-million-dollar production deal where we could just be the entertainment part of the entertainment. We had to make it happen. And I had to cut him loose because when it finally got time to doing what we say we're going to do, he was all talk and no action. And I feel bad.
Did you do any shows together at all?
We started to do shows. Yeah, there's some that are back stored on YouTube, but it just didn't work. And with me, it was so important because I thought this whole thing up, and when my gut, the first time in a long time that my soul told me this is what you need to go do, and I wasn't going to let it stop me, and then I didn't, and here I am, good or bad. Maybe I'm.
So it didn't set you back. You just kind of cut him loose and kept going.
It did set me back a little bit, but doesn't it always? Because change, But the thing was, I got so pissed because I said, I swear on my mother, I will do this show if I have to have a sock puppet. Because it's fun. This is why we're talking, you and me. It's good to have somebody to bounce off of.
Correct. The banter was good.
Yeah, and that was the big deal. And so I said to myself, I will do this if I have to have a sock puppet. And lo and behold, Pepsi was born. I don't know if you've ever seen Pepsi, but Pepsi's...
No.
Oh,
you have a sock puppet? Really?
No, it's not a sock puppet. He's better than that. but all of a sudden, a month later, again, just remember the word Pepsi. Oh, yeah. I know. You're a busy man. You don't get to follow, but that's okay. Pepsi pops in and out, and Pepsi was on the show 3 weeks ago or a month ago, and this is the first time we tried out this, and Pepsi. Well, again, if you have the time, just go see it because
I will check.
Because call me crazy, but Pepsi laughs.
I love it.
Pepsi laughs at my jokes, and the whole thing was and he's on my trailer. Pepsi is on my 3-minute little trailer we did several years ago when I first started, and because I said, you know what, people will watch a puppet. People will pay attention. I mean, the whatchamacallit, the Muppets, whatever.
True.
And I believe me, we were in its rawest form. But the thing was, I said, I am not. I guess the bottom line was, I'm not giving up, and I will talk to somebody. And this is what's beautiful because I told you that all these Stephen Colbert's and the late shows, they're talking to dead cameras, and they are not that good at it.
No, they're not.
No. So they're doing They're doing
I
my
haven't
show.
watched the news in forever. I don't like a lot of those guys. Anyway.
I don't either, but
I'm not a Colbert fan.
Are you kidding? That son of a gun.
I find him arrogant and he's just I'm just not.
It's not 20 seconds into the show, not even 3 seconds into the show. He's politically bashing. That's all his show is based on. And unfortunately,
I miss Johnny Carson. You've seen my post.
That's it. We've talked about this before. Yeah. Okay, so the thing is, they're doing this show, and he's talking, and they're still writing like he's talking to an audience, but he's not.
Yeah,
and it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And God bless the people that are watching him, but because they're all Democrats.
Well, Peter, that's interesting. That's an interesting topic for us because I'm not going to say we're friends because that'll sound too self-indulgent, but I'm an acquaintance of the guy who founded Zoom. He's out there on the West Coast with you. Terrific guy. Really, really like him.
I'm sure he's doing well.
I knew him before he went public, but he's the latest tech billionaire now. But he's a terrific guy, in all fairness to him. And it was kind of a fluke, and we got together, and we've chatted, and just a nice guy. But and talked about me maybe doing some training for them. And I said, Eric, I'm more of a one-on-one kind of a guy because I love the energy of a crowd and an audience and all that live stage. And I've had this conversation with I'm very good friends with the Jesuit priest here at Loyola University where I go to the chapel. I was going every day before this. I have not, Peter, seen a mass since this whole shutdown.
Right.
I just don't get the same feeling on camera or for Zoom or whatever. So just what you're talking about.
Right.
And I've had this conversation with academics because I've got a son now he's going to be going into a sophomore year of college. My will be a senior in high school. It's not the same. A lot of people, either educators, not all educators are good on Zoom and good on camera.
Right.
You talked about Colbert or Fallon or the other Jimmy.
Yeah.
It doesn't translate. And I told Eric, I said, Eric, I'd love to do something, come out there, but you lose something. You lose that energy. I want to eyeball to eyeball with somebody in the crowd. If somebody in the third row is falling asleep, I can't tell that on Zoom.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I mean, I get down off the stage and I walk into the crowd. It's just who I am. All this worries me. I got to tell you. We talked before about taking this stuff on. This is a major, major, major crisis. And listen, a lot of things that come out of Trump's mouth, I wish he hadn't said. But it's interesting to me. He didn't. Let's talk about this for a second. He didn't start this. I mean, this has been brewing for a long time. He's been around for 3 years. And people give him, in my opinion, they give him way too much credit. They blame him for too much.
For everything. I wouldn't want that job. Everything.
They blame him. They blame him for everything. Yeah. And yet you've got a guy like Biden. Let's pick on Biden, or let's pick on that. Let's pick on that woman that you've got out there who's been in politics for 60 years. That's Feinstein.
I thought you were going to say Pelosi.
Feinstein. Well, she's another, and she's in Baltimore, by the way.
Oh,
Feinstein's been in office for 60 years. She's been in politics.
Not so Feinstein.
The woman's not so Feinstein. She's like 80-some years.
What a job.
Freaking old.
Yeah, great gig.
What a job.
Yeah.
Oh, she's worth like $70 million or something like that.
Yeah.
So my point is, you've got Trump who's been in office for 3 years, and you've got her that's been in office for 60, and yet you're going to blame him for everything. That's, the divisiveness and just all this stuff. This is bad. I mean, I jokingly have said I'm either going to move to Burlington, and that's Bernie country.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Bernie guy, or Denmark. I just can't we get along? I know it sounds crazy and simplistic, but can't we all just get along?
Yeah.
Everybody's got to go for your throat, right? So if you say something somebody disagrees with, earlier today was funny on Facebook. Somebody chimed in. You've seen that picture of Fauci that's going viral now without his mask?
I forgot. That's on my list
here.
Oh,
no, the one where he's sitting.
Yeah.
He's sitting right next to a guy
talking.
basically spitting on him, talking to the guy.
know.
And then he's laughing and smiling and cutting up, and everybody's like, well, it's probably okay. They're found. How do you know that? I mean, it's an old guy sitting next to him, and he's an old guy. And if you're going to tell me to do it, you got to do it too.
Yeah, well, I know.
But everybody comes up with an excuse, don't they? Busted is right.
It's all bullshit.
Everybody comes up with an excuse, Peter, and they said, well, he was probably eating or drinking.
No.
It's like, bullshit, bullshit. No, he wasn't.
I mean, I know you can make a lot out of a picture because you can take a picture if you caught the right frame. It makes you look funny. But the thing, first of all, if I was throwing a baseball pitch, I think I'd practice a little bit before I threw it.
Oh my God, that was
I know he's 80 years old or whatever the hell he is.
Well, quickly he was in the Glee Club. I hate to say that. He spent a lot of time in the library. He was not out on the athletic field.
But it was beyond. That's a long way from home plate. You don't realize it until you do it.
And he's a little guy, and he's an old little guy.
They should have said, "Let's warm up. Let's practice a couple of throws, just a couple of throws." That was funny. Okay, but nonetheless. But then,
and he's got his mask on, and he's there. Nobody's around him.
Right. Then
nobody's
sitting in the
him.
stand, and he's shooting the shit. And it's like, okay, come on, you're just like us, and
exactly.
Bill Gates sends your paycheck. I'm sorry.
Right. And so that doesn't have to be partisan. I mean, if you're going to tell me to do that, and I'm not a masker, by the way, I'm not. I don't want to be told what to do and how to do it. Listen, man, I've been a latchkey kid since I was 10 years old. I don't do well with rules, and there have been sometimes in my life I wish I would have done better with rules and structure.
You rebel.
But that ship sailed.
Yeah.
And I can't go back to that. So I don't like people telling me I've got to do this and I've got to do that. And so anyway, earlier on social media, I posted that picture, and somebody came after me. And people don't normally come after me on social media. And the reason they don't, surprisingly, is because I'm out.
You just kind of stay neutral, lukewarm. Water.
I stay neutral.
Yeah,
I do. I work hard at that. Anyway, this person came at me, and I said, okay, well, we can, because she was making excuses for it. And I said, we can disagree. We can agree to disagree. He said, oh, well, people who say that, they say that because they know they're wrong. I was like, oh my God. I said, you're gonna shape this narrative into whatever form it's gonna work for you. And then I was out.
Right.
And I was like, out. Well, I'm done. But you can't say anything to anybody without it all being misinterpreted and people just jumping down your throat. It's crazy.
I say screw it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm at this point now. It's like I love my friends. I do, and I'm not afraid to lose people or gain people. I'm not
100%.
I'm not.
100%.
And I've
You
got
can't. You have to let that go.
And that's not, like I said, I don't know. I'm somewhere between 3 and 3 million. But the thing is, I'm not afraid, and I don't speak my mind. I'm not. But I had a friend of mine and a close friend of mine. He brought it up to me because he says, I've been watching your show, and a lot of times I hear you apologizing for something you say. And he says, yeah, but I'm telling you, this is what friendship does. And I'm very blessed. I have a lot of people I can call true friends. If I need them, they're there. Not acquaintances. Yeah. There's a big difference.
No, absolutely. Huge difference.
I'm nothing special, but I've done decent enough in my life to earn that privilege.
Yeah, and earning it is the key. You're right.
And I'm proud of it.
And you deserve it.
Yeah,
so if you've earned it, you deserve it.
I'm very proud of it. I got a lot of people I love to death, and I can't reach out enough to. But the people that like are barely getting by, and when my mother was ill and things like that, and I'm 2,000 miles away, and I'd be home, and they go, Peter, man, if your mama needs anything or your parents need it, you let me know. And they don't have a pot to piss in, and that's friendship. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, they're the ones that are the most generous, the ones that don't have a pot to piss.
And he said to me, he said, you don't need, if you're going to say something, you don't need to apologize for it. And it struck a nerve.
Wow.
Kind of. And just recently, because I didn't want to get political. I didn't want to piss off the people that believe that Trump is a friggin' idiot. And even though I believe that, like, show me somebody better and I'm in.
Right.
You know, they don't get it.
No.
And so, but he's right. And so finally, then this is where this all kind of came. I go, you know what? We are living in some screwed up times right now, and somebody needs. I'm a voice, whether I'm a voice. You know what I mean? You're a voice.
You are. Yeah.
And I'm loud, and I'm gonna stay loud. I mean, I'm not the guy who's screaming, but I'm yelling pretty loud, and I believe that, you know, to me, if I can reach one person and like to people that are having problems, like, you're not alone.
Agree.
I'm here.
Agree. That's really my mantra. That's really the whole part of everything I do, Peter, is, and I know we've helped so many people since Zach died, and that really keeps me going, because there have been a lot of times, that's a big deal. And there have been a lot of times that I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you, and I've shared this online, you probably have seen this, that I was ready to hang it up. And there are some months, because I pay for my airtime, I pay for the space, I have sponsors,
right?
And I've been blessed with that. But there have been times that it's like, you know what, I'm tired, I don't want to do it anymore. And then something always seems to happen. And so I don't do things for any kind of personal gain or any form of expediency. I do things because I feel guided or directed, if that makes sense to you. I don't have an ulterior motive. I'd like to see the show expand. I've talked about syndication. I love television. I started out in television, but it'll play itself out, and it'll be what it's meant to be. I really do believe that. Right
now, there is no television. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, no. I hear you, but you know, I want to write. I want to write another book, and it's been. I was telling a friend the other day. The word I use is exhaustion or very heavy. I mean, I can't even tell you what it's like to bury a child. It's just. I mean, somebody sent me a poem just yesterday that I was reading to my daughter earlier, and she saw it 2 days before Zach's birthday. And every time I read it, I cry. It's basically like I wake up every day and I start my day without you, and then it kind of goes on from there. I was like, you know, how the angels came and this and that. I'm like, oh my God. So what's the purpose? And I think the purpose is, like you were saying, like your friend said to you, don't apologize. I agree with that 100%. I really do. And when you've gone through this level of pain, and it's all relative, I know, I'm not saying my pain's greater than anybody else. I'm saying it's different. And I have other friends who've lost children. I have a friend here in Baltimore who lost his daughter to epilepsy, and Harry and I are now members of the same club, and we talk about being members of a club nobody wants to belong to. But you do have a kindred spirit with people who've lost a child.
Sure.
Because they're the only ones who can possibly know what it feels like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? Absolutely. So that's comforting. It's comforting to a large extent, you know, to have that. So anyway, I feel, let me use the term, you talked about your religion and your faith, and I think it's a higher calling. I think you and I have been called to do something that's above us and beyond us, right? Because and a lot of times, why put up with the shit that we put up with? I mean, whether you're going to get people are going to come at you, and you've seen me now. Like I walk away from that. I don't have a horse in that race.
I know.
I don't have a horse in that race. And it's comforting, Peter, because what happens is we take on that stress of, oh, that person said that about me, and that's not true. I'm not really like that. Oh no, let it go.
Yeah.
Like your friend said, don't let it go.
Well, look,
they're not, Peter. They don't know you. They're not your people.
No, I get it, but the thing is, if this is my calling and God's looking down and going, because we need to send somebody out there. Who are we going to send? Well, we go, well, we only got Peter G out there. Go, oh shit.
Oh shit.
He goes,
really? You sure?
Yeah, it's like, okay, whatever, send him out. But I'm not taking responsibility for what happens, you know.
Yeah.
That's the way
Now,
it is.
see, I went to college to be a news anchor, so I've always loved the media, and I spent some years in television. So I don't know about you, if this is what you thought you'd be doing. It really, I started acting and modeling and voiceover work and all that when I was 52. When my second marriage ended, I got back into it. So I was older to come back into that, but I don't know if you thought this is where you would be at this point.
I've been playing music my whole life. I was a drummer since I was a baby. And music was, I never thought I'd ever stop, good or bad, whatever I did.
Right.
And, you know, and I did better than some, maybe not as good as others. I mean, you know, and I moved out to LA because I was big fish, small pond where I was. I was Atlantic coast regionally big. And then I said, I got to go to LA because LA is where it's at the time. And again, but I never thought I'd stop playing music. And then, traveling became an essential part of music because nobody makes records anymore. And I started in my early days working for a lot of songwriters and things, and I ended up in the studios like doing all kinds of weird stuff and great stuff, and you know, but everything just kind of, when my divorce hit, it was 50-50 custody that I fought for to the death that I was given, but I had to defend it, and I could not say I got 50 after all that and then take off. And so that ended. I had to make a conscious decision. It wasn't easy. Okay. But the bottom line was, it took. Then I was scared because I was running out of money. It's like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? 2 years staying home, and all of a sudden this kind of came to me, and I said, well, the music business at the same time was taking a shit. There is no music business anymore. It's eviscerated. I mean, there's no records. When's the last time you bought a record?
That's true. Yeah.
Exactly. Now I get it. We're older, but the thing is, there are no records. Everything is online. It's shared. Yeah. Some people say I belong to iTunes. I want to support, but it's fractions. It's nothing. Yeah. All the people I know, my Toto friends, my people that play with Elton John, we're all these LA people. They're touring. Elton John never stops touring because that's the only way you make a living now. You buy a $70 T-shirt. And
that's right. That's right.
So I don't really feel like I'm missing it. And if I get a budget to go back to where I want to be, I will incorporate music because I have a lot of really great icon music friends that I've been fortunate enough in this city to be a part of. And granted, they are bigger than me, but we're still friends. You know, and I will bring music onto the show. It's like jamming with Peter G, whatever the hell you want to call it. I wasn't a slouch. I'm no phenomenon, but I'm good enough. You know what I mean? I worked hard at that. So I don't know. Right now, though, when this came to my mind, I don't get that feeling in my gut very often, and that feeling was in my gut. And here we are, 8 years later. I mean, I thought of this in 2000. My daughter's going to high school now. That's 9 years. 9 years ago, I came up with this idea.
So she's just starting high school.
Well, if there's a high school to start. Yeah.
Well, right. Okay.
Yeah, she's 14.
So she's what, 14?
14.
Okay.
and again, God bless. Like the one thing in my life that is held together, she's got it together. She's normal. She's stable, and she's solid, and that's all that matters to me. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
But this brainstorm came up the summer before she started kindergarten. I met Jim. And then the talk started, but we didn't actually physically get on the internet going until April of 2015. And by April of 16, I take that back, 16.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So it took a long time from kindergarten to that. That's
Talking. Well, it was 2011, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, it was. It was a slow process. and
Wow.
and this is what I'm saying. So that everybody thinks it's like overnight, to get. And finally, by 2016, we were live on the air. Started with podcasting, quickly evolved into video. I wanted TV.
Yeah.
And by the end of 2016, I'm breaking ties with Jim, and 17 opened up the Peter G Show. And the theme song that I wrote, this little 3-chord, that drives you crazy, as simple as it may be, thank God I took it from Jim and Peter to Peter G Show. It's stupid, but so am I. You know what I mean? I'm no genius, but here we are.
Right.
Here we are.
You didn't miss a beat.
And nor did you.
Yeah, everybody thinks I've got this army. A lot of what I've done is it's just really been me. It's just been me talking about people. I don't know, call it whatever you want, wisdom or common sense. Or I get a lot of private messages, and people will say, the other day I was out to dinner and with my son, one of my sons, and there was a couple there that I knew, and there was a lady sitting with them who I didn't know, and she said, "Oh, you're Bob Paff," and I said, "Yeah," and she said, "I love your show. I love your show."
Yeah, didn't that feel good?
Yeah, and I said, "Oh, thank you." And she said, "No, you common sense, wisdom." She said, "You're fair, you're polite, you're this, you're that, you're whatever." And she said, I set my alert to watch your show." And I was like, "Wow." So it was really nice.
That's a nice feeling.
Right?
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
You did it, and this I forgot. I was getting into this, and then all of a sudden my brain went crazy, and now it just came back to me. You wrote a book. And then you promoted the book, and it's an Amazon bestseller, right? Bob Paff, Communicating to Win, right?
Yep, correct.
Right. On Amazon, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
And then you had something to promote.
Correct.
Right? I had a TV producer that somebody referred me to, and he goes, "Well, what you should do is you probably should write a book, and then, blah, blah, blah." And I'm already into what I'm doing. And so he didn't know anything about me because I was a referral through somebody who said, you might want to check this guy out. So he's talking to me, and he was gracious enough to give me several phone calls. He does a lot of History Channel documentaries and stuff like that. That's his thing. But he's in the business.
Yeah.
And somebody thought enough of me to say, well, I got this friend, maybe you want to talk to him. Well, then I sent him my trailer, and then I said, and he was kind enough to go look. Well, then 2 weeks later, we speak, and he goes, "Listen, whatever I told you, forget it. You're past that." He goes, "I got to tell you, I thought you were going to be some dipshit." And he says, "But you're already kind of." He says, "Yeah, maybe you should have had a book, but you're way beyond. Like you've already surpassed. Like now, I don't know what to tell you.
You don't need the book.
Well,
right,
you
exactly.
need It'd be good if you had a book, but you know what I mean."
Yeah.
He says, "Now I don't know what to tell you."
It's not holding you back.
Yeah, you're already in full swing of what you're doing. He says, "Keep doing what you're doing, good or bad."
Yeah. No, it's true.
Well, here we are. So now here's the thing.
Yeah.
You asked me. You said, "Well, what time are we going to be on? What time are we going to be off?" Right?
I'm fading, man. I'm old.
You're fading, but look at this. We've already gone past the time, and we haven't.
See that?
So here's the beauty of it, because we were going to go on to subjects, and now we've kind of gone. We're talking personally with a few of our closest friends, and that's a good thing, because I think the personal touch is awesome. But unfortunately, we are out of time, because I need a few more minutes, because I have some other people. I don't know if you know. I got lucky enough, and I don't remember how the hell I got into this too. LinkedIn is very powerful. I think I found you through LinkedIn somehow or another.
I think you're
I don't
right.
think it was Facebook.
It's a bigger platform for me.
For us, for the TV, the professional side of it. You know what I mean? But Facebook I chose because it's the normal people living and struggling in life, and
it's just different.
Yeah,
it's different. I mean, I've got like 26,000 combined followers and connections on LinkedIn, and it's just different. I mean, it's a whole different thing.
So
I agree.
Somehow or another, I got to think of it now. I'm blanking out because I got so much stuff running through my head. But I ran into some people that contacted me, and they are doing a wristband challenge, and they're with America Strong USA. .org, and they're supporting our first responders, our law enforcement, our healthcare workers, and so we've been talking a lot, and they just kicked it off, and I'm behind him, because he lost a child too. He lost a child to leukemia, I believe.
Okay.
And again, how do you relate? And that little thing, and all he does is now help people.
Sure.
And PJ Schrantz, who is behind a lot of this, and so I jumped on board, and so tonight, and on my shows right now, I have to do a couple little things. At least I don't have to. I want to do a couple things. Yeah, and but America Strong USA .org, and it's a wristband challenge that we're just started kicking off right now, and it's to support, because healthcare workers and all these people. He told me a story about a policeman who had a sick child, and just because you're a policeman and all this and that, his child was sick, and there were certain things the insurance did not cover, and the child had some kind of illness, and they raised money for that child to go to Germany to try some experimental type, drugs or healing or something like that. And yes, the child eventually did pass, but the child ended up living 9 more months than
because of that.
And you know what? 9 more seconds is 9 more seconds, as you know.
Oh my God, I if I could have 5 more minutes, I mean, with my son. So
there you go. So all this stuff. And when I talked to this man, PJ Schrantz, we did like a pre-interview over the phone. It was like I felt like I was talking. He's an East Coast guy. He's a Connecticut guy. I was born in Connecticut, but
I don't know if I knew that. Well, born in Connecticut,
Yale New Haven Hospital, baby.
Wow.
Until I was 15. Once I was 15, we moved down to Florida, and that was where I shaped up. But I was born in, so there's a lot of mixed vocal slang. But the thing was, I felt like I'd been talking to this guy like he was so easy to talk to. I felt like we've been talking for years. And so I got behind him now, and so I'm supporting this whole wristband challenge thing. And so
wonderful.
Before the show is, I got to give away a couple of wristbands.
Yeah, man. But you got to do it.
Here's the thing. But East meets West once a month with me until we can't do it. I mean, life takes us in different turns and patterns. But right now, if you're available, I'd like to see you on the last Sunday of next month, which is what month are we going to be in? August?
August.
Yeah, can't wait. Yeah. So,
well, it should work no matter where I am, and nobody's going anywhere anyway. So so it should work.
I'm glad you turned that light on, so now you were in the dark, and I wanted to say
I was, and I saw that, and I apologize.
No, I didn't. I didn't know if you could or not, but because you were backlit, but I need to see that face. But then again, this is our first time, and it is late at night. And the next time, wear one of those nightcaps. I mean,
all right, let me one more time here, because you got your guys.
Okay.
And so if everybody can really just
Bob Wallace for mayor for Baltimore. Right? You are a strong supporter. Anything you want to leave your people now and my people with? Anything on your mind? I mean, quick. That just
no. That's it. I mean, I'll just tell folks to hang in there. I know it sounds trite and the platitudes, and I tell people all the time, it's not the platitudes. I write them, I speak them, I read them, but it's tough, and I think we do need more faith, and I'm a big believer in God and higher power, and I think man, that's got to get us through, because it is a tough world that we're living in now, Peter, and it worries me, and I take it on. I'm being polite and choosing my words carefully,
Yeah.
I get F-bombed on my way out, but it's horrible.
Yeah.
So hang in there, and everybody to have faith, and we'll get through, because the only way out is through, right? So it's all good.
It is.
All right, guy, you go do your thing. I'm going to bed. This is good.
I'm glad we got to do the visual thing.
Yeah.
We've had every interview has been a phone
thing,
and again, it is good. It's one small step for man. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's a different connection, and I think it adds an element to it that is good.
It is,
so
and
cool.
Again, we're both simple. I like keeping it simple, stupid, until I get 24 people to work it for me. But so it's hard. But I don't sleep. I mean, I go to bed at 1:30 at night. I wake up at 6 in the morning or whatever, because I have things I got to go do. But one step at a time. And I just felt, if we're going to do this East meets West, I want you the closest thing to being right there next to me.
I like it
for your people and for mine.
And this will be my stage. Okay,
this is great.
My uniform will
again.
Change,
the light behind you. I don't know if it's as much necessary, but I need some front lighting, just like that. Your one side's a little bit but much better than what it was.
Yeah. I'll work on
a lot of times, I think you do when you're doing it. It's daytime, so it lights up real well.
Correct. Yeah, I've got some options here, but we'll figure it all out.
I don't want to overbright you, but the thing is that was a major difference because, again, if you're going to speak, I want you to be not only heard but seen.
Seen.
Yeah.
Got it.
Somebody said to me, "It's good to see you," and he says, "It's good to be seen."
Good to be seen.
Yeah,
always
there you
good to be seen.
All right,
Guy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yep, we'll talk soon.
Go to bed, and I'll leave you alone for a few weeks.
Okay. All right, Peter.
All right.
Thank you.
Yep. Say goodbye to everybody.
Hey, everybody.
All right,
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Right,
bye-bye.
Later.
All right. Take care.
Yep.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Paff. Awesome. Okay, first time, and he was a little not so backlit. Oops, let's get, what are we going to do here? You know, I've seen him, I told him, I said, because I've seen him do things that he does right for where he's at, but he does it in the daytime, and it was more lit up. Simple, but effective. Here's the deal. I appreciate Bob Paff for coming on for the first time on a segment that I want to call, or we're going to call, East Meets West. Bob Paff, Peter G. I think it was a great conversation. I hope you enjoyed it. All right? For those of you who watch live, for those of you who are going to catch this during the reruns, the repeats, I want you to share and start a watch party. Sharing is great, hitting the share button. But if you hit the share, you can look underneath, and a lot of times it says start a watch party. That will tell everybody that, like, hey, so-and-so is watching the show, and I want you to watch the show with me, virtually. Here's what's going to happen now. See, we ran over time. You know what the funny thing was? We spoke this afternoon, and he says, "Okay, what time am I going to come on, and what time am I getting off?" Because he's 3 hours ahead. It's late over there. It's almost 1 o'clock in the morning over there. It's like 20 minutes to 1. I said, "Listen, I'm going to bring you on about 11:40 p.m. your time, and we should be on anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes, and then we'll let it go." But knowing, because he's such an easy man to talk with, that we just ran over again. I once again 9:41. See, I should have been off the air 11 minutes ago, and I'm not done yet. Last week's show went an hour 38. Unusual, but that's the problem. I don't know how to cut the shows. I'm not going to cut the shows. If I feel we're going to do it, we're going to do it until I have other people, fixing it and making it to where it's an hour show. It's an hour show. I just do what I do, and I make no apologies. Because I don't think it's a bad thing. I think there's good information there. Thank you, Bob Paff, from Baltimore, Maryland, radio talk show host, Bob Paff. I didn't even let him plug his show. He's on every Friday night, and I can't remember. I should have let him do that. Bob Paff, look him up. He's an Amazon book bestseller too. He's got a book called Communicating to Win. I don't have a book. I'm gonna write a book. Well, maybe I'll write a book someday. I keep talking about it. Every time I want to talk about something, so I'm saving it for the book. But hopefully, I'll still be. I'll still have a good memory to remember all this stuff because I keep it all in my head. Either way, here's what we're gonna do. I told you earlier in the show, AmericaStrongUSA.org. I support them. They are supporting your first responders, your healthcare workers, your law enforcement. They have a wristband challenge going on right now. Right there. Oh, you can't even see mine. Wristband challenge. I wear mine proudly. They truly believe in what they're doing, and so do I. I have 2 wristbands tonight. If there's 2 callers, whether even if the show goes off the air, they'll answer the phone. Somebody will answer the phone. 818-259-7983. We didn't take any phone calls tonight because I had Bob Paff, East Meets West. Bob Paff, East Meets West, is going to be on every month until we say no, the last Sunday of the month. You'll see. We'll be advertising. In the meantime, right now, I got a couple of wristbands. If anybody wants to call in to get a wristband, the first 2 callers will get a America Strong USA wristband for the wristband challenge. This is all I ask for you, though. I need you, when you get that wristband, to put that wristband on and make a very short video saying, "Hi, my name is Charlie Brown, and I'm from Detroit, Michigan, or wherever you're from, and I support the USA, America Strong USA Wristband Challenge. That's it. I just want to know where you're from, that you support them. You can go to americastrongusa.org and you can purchase these wristbands for $5. Buy a few. Give a couple to somebody you care about. That's the right thing to do. These people put their lives on the line. They work hard to protect, to serve you. But if you call 818-259-7983 right now before I leave this show, I will talk to you on the air, and then we will get you a wristband. Last week I challenged ABC World News Tonight to support americastrongusa.org. And this week I say the same thing. I'm not going to stop until I hear from them. ABC World News Tonight, I challenge you to find me to do the wristband challenge, because this supports people that are so important in our lives. Not a penny goes into this organization's pocket. It's all about helping people that need help. The people that help you, believe it or not, sometimes need help, and a lot of times need help. It's not like they're making a gazillion dollars. They're just dedicated workers who believe in what they do. Healthcare workers, first responders, firemen, police. Don't even get me started with this cutting the budget and police stuff. I'll start using harsh language. But ABC World News Tonight, I challenge you to find me to talk about the America Strong USA Wristband Challenge. I challenge you. That's all I got to say about that. Dave Jones left me a voicemail. Dave Jones, did I miss your phone call? I'm going to call him back. Because he called. I don't know how I missed it. One ringy dingy. Two ringy dingies. Three ringy dingies. I'll get him. David Jones.
Hey, buddy.
David B. Jones.
That's right. That's right. Let's go, Florida.
I'm sorry. I don't know how we missed your phone call, but we did. But I said, I'm calling you back.
I know. I was just watching it, and there's the first two phone calls you about the wristband thing. And I was like, dude, I'm first.
You are. And
Awesome.
So here's what I want you to do for me, because I'm running super overtime. But
I know. That's good. That's all right.
It is good. It is good. I'm proud of what. I mean, I'm glad we had this much to talk about. Real quick, I feel you caught my show last week. Did you?
Yeah. The other talk show house thing. It was awesome.
Right up your alley.
Oh yeah.
All right. Listen. Here's what I want you to do for me, brother. I want you to text me your address, and I'll have them send you out a wristband. Okay. And I want you to take that wristband and make me that 5-6 second video saying, "Hey, my name is David Jones, and I'm from wherever you want to be, and I support the America Strong USA Wristband Challenge." That's all. And then I want you to post it to their website.
No, that ain't even the problem, man.
I know you're a patriotic American, and I know you are, and that's why I called you back before this show is over, because I want people to know that there's people out there that care.
Awesome.
Anything else I can do for you?
No, just tell them, man, I'm the guy that loves you more than Elvis.
You're the guy that loves me more than Elvis. That's, you know what? That's what else can you say? Well. All right, listen, I'm running over. I just wanted to capture this while we could, but I appreciate you making the phone call. There's going to be a wristband put out in the mail to you, and when you do it, just make it happen, Captain. All right?
I will, buddy.
Probably
will.
You know what? And again, thank you so much for supporting the show and watching the show, and just pass the word on and hang in there, and let's do it again, all right?
You know it, bro.
All right, peace out. I'll talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye, buddy.
Bye. There you go. How'd I know it was David B. Jones? Because it said it on the phone. But I missed. I don't know how the call didn't go. All of a sudden, I saw the phone flash, and Maybe I wasn't looking. I was looking off in the other direction. All right, y'all. You're watching Life of Peter G, the Peter G Show. Tonight's first segment, one of once a month, the last Sunday of the month of East Meets West. I was thankful enough to have the infamous Bob Paff, the East Coast Baltimore radio talk show host, on my show to help shoot the shit. Not only shoot the shit, stuff of worth. We talk about things, we're going to be talking about things that are worthy of talking about. So, I appreciate it. Wow. I need like a 4-hour show. And yet you got these guys like David Colbert, and they can barely get through an hour show that's literally only about 25 minutes worth of talking. And even that talking, I don't know, it's questionable. Sorry. That's just the way I feel. Oh, I said sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Love you guys more than anything. Pass the word. Don't forget to support my friends, again, at AmericaStrongUSA.org. This is really important to me right now while it's happening. Eventually, I won't be talking about this because we'll move on to other things. But right now, this is what they're doing. They're doing a wristband challenge, and it's important to me that it's important to you to go to AmericaStrongUSA.org, go to their website, get a few wristbands, give them to people that mean something to you. Hey, okay, well, I'm going to take one more call. Hey, this is Life with Peter G. Who's this? Yeah, hello. Yeah, hello. Wow, they hung up. Ain't that some shit? They were right there. Right there. Damn it. Here they come again. Here they come again. Hey, you're on with Life of Peter G. Who's this?
Hey, Peter, this is Dan.
Hey, Dan. How are you?
Great. I just wanted to be supportive. I didn't catch the show earlier. But
shame on you. No, I'm kidding.
I know. Hey, you sent me a nice birthday wish on Facebook. Thank you, sir, for that. Very classy.
Dan, if you're on my page, you're worthy of that. And believe it or not, I do. I know it's getting harder and harder as the list keeps getting bigger. But you know what? I do that personally because birthdays are not what they used to be, and to me, just like a quick like, hey, how you doing? Maybe someday I won't be able to do it, but right now I'm still able to keep up, and you're worth it.
Well, you're worth watching and supporting. Absolutely.
I appreciate it. Hey, here's what I want you to do, Dan, because you called in, and I want to send you one of these wristbands if you want, and all I need you to do is when we hang up the phone, that this number that you just called, 818-259-7983, you text me your full name and address, and I'll have my people send you out one of these wristbands. Is that cool?
It's appreciated, and I was a firefighter for 22 years, Local 729 in upstate New York, Binghamton, New York.
God bless you. There you go.
But I wanted to purchase 20 of them.
You do?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so here's
sending me a free one. I'd rather purchase 20.
All right, but so do you want me to send you one? You want to? I get it. Okay, here's what I want you to do. So,
yes.
Number one, I appreciate you calling and paying attention. You're going to go to AmericaStrongUSA.org, where it's a great website, and you can go right there and you can purchase the wristbands and then give them to your people.
I will do that.
But do me a favor though.
Sure.
When you get these wristbands, because this is what it's really all about, spreading the word. I mean, I'm just little old me. I want you to make a quick video of and have your whoever you're giving these wristbands to, because it's important, because you of all people understand, because just because you were a firefighter didn't mean you're rich, and we all have, right?
Yeah, that's good. No, it's a job. It's a great job. It's a career.
I know, but
all over the country and all over the world, the people like that.
Exactly, but there's families that have problems, that even the income you make, and you're laying your life on the line for others to help, and you love what you do, and God bless you, but there's people that need help, and that's what this is all about. So I want you to make a 5, 6, 10-second video saying, hey, this is Dan, and I'm from, where are you at, Dan?
I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
I love Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I've been here about 7.5 years, retired.
All right, well, just make a quick video and upload it to you, AmericaStrongUSA.org, saying, and I love the USA, America Strong USA. I'm here to do the wristband challenge, because that's what's going to make this really a positive thing. People need to know, and it's noble of you to purchase 20 wristbands. I mean, that is amazing. But you have to share and make your friends share it too.
And you know something, I'll put that on my Facebook page if I can find the link to it.
Oh, absolutely, and put it on my page and whatever.
Sure,
I mean,
okay, yeah, that's great. I just want to comment on some of your past shows when you talked about divorce and going through the stuff. I've been through it twice, and we're actually great friends with both of them.
Right.
And we had in my second marriage, we had 4 children, and my second marriage, we had a son, and he passed away about 6 years ago from a rare cancer. So I support that too. Cross serving in New York.
If you were, you said you weren't listening to tonight's show too much, but Bob Paff, the gentleman I had on from Baltimore, he lost a son. PJ Schrantz from America Strong USA, the main man who I've connected with, who got me involved with this, he lost a son. I mean, we all have these things in common. I mean, it's just life. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
we have more in common than we do the differences.
I wish we could all just get along, but apparently right now we're going through a lot of hell, and we do need to stick together. So, I appreciate you supporting this show, and I hope that when you do get the opportunity to watch this show, whether I know it's late at night on the East Coast, but these shows are regurgitated and rerun through the week, and you can hit and share and watch parties and spread. That's just how we're growing. I'm doing it the most unorthodox way. We have to share.
I'll push it on Facebook because I know a lot of people, but also I love the interview you did with Steve Lukather, and I've met him personally, talked to him quite a bit.
Okay, so you're a fan, and I appreciate that. You've watched a few shows. I mean, I appreciate it.
I don't always say anything. I kind of sit back a little bit, but I guess it's more time to.
Well, here's the problem, Dan. All my fans are lurkers. They all sit back and watch. Unfortunately, I have the most quietest audience, but I do know I'm somewhere within 3 and 3 million of people that actually appreciate what's going on. They just don't say anything.
Yes, I think you think you're right, and that's why I called.
And I appreciate that. So God bless you for doing that.
Keep on. I'll be here every Sunday night. I can do that.
Okay, and that's all. And all I ask is that you share, because if we can help change or one person who's going through hell, which everybody thinks, why me, why me, why me, and all I want to say is you're not alone. And so I'm nobody special. I'm really not. I just got the balls enough to sit here and put myself on out here and to try and make a difference. That's all.
I get that from you. It's good.
Yeah,
because you do. You put out some personal stuff, which allows me to give you some personal stuff about my background.
We're all the same.
Yes, absolutely.
We're all the same, and love, and I don't know, as I'm getting older, it's like, you know what, love, and I said it 12 million times, and I got to tell and Lukather especially, playing with Ringo and stuff like that, I used to make fun of Ringo, like, well, peace and love, and he's right. Yeah. He's right.
But it's been going on for decades all over the world. With
them. Well, you know what, it takes time until the brain develops sometimes, unfortunately.
Because no one's ever called me a genius, Peter.
Well, nor have they mine. But listen, thank you so much for paying attention. And again, all I ask from you is to share, because I haven't even scratched the surface. And go to americastrongusa.org and pick you up those wristbands and let them know that you got it off the Peter G Show, because I want them to know that I love what they're doing as much as you love what they're doing.
I'll do that right now. Firing up the laptop.
Fire it up. Just don't catch it on fire.
Not at all.
All right. Thank you so much. And let's tune in again next week. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing next week. And it's providing I make it through next week, we'll be right here like clockwork.
You got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. I'll see you later. Bye.
Thanks.
Wow. I need to have like a 4-hour show. Because everybody calls in at the end, or they starts hanging out towards the end. This is some groovy music. This is like trippy. What the hell do I know? Listen, all I know is the more you guys keep supporting, the better I can do things. Dan was just talking about a show I did with Steve Lukather, and I love him to death. God knows I've been fortunate enough to share some experiences with him and some time with him, and many people. I want to bring these people. They're interesting people. They're great entertainers, just to talk to. but it costs time and money and effort. And, you know, it's, again, especially right now with this COVID thing, we are minimalists. But I want to bring all that to you. But we have to keep growing, okay? If you want to keep seeing more, bigger, better, let's keep growing, keep sharing. I promise you, the thoughts of what's going to happen in the future is huge. I just don't want to overstep my boundaries. I have to, you know, as it was told to me by one of my main people here, Big Money Marv, you got to crawl before you can walk. This is what I consider crawling. This is not the Steve Harvey show. That costs millions to produce per show. We are working on pesos. See? But we're having fun, and I love it. And I love it. And you know what? And someday when things get bigger and better, I'll look back at this. This is like it's like, you know, it's like almost like when you're dating, you look back at the when we were poor stories, how like those were the greatest times of the greatest times. Oh my God, it's freaking hour and a half show. All right, we're done. Sorry, people. This is it. All right. I love you. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for the 2 phone calls I got for supporting America Strong, USA.org. Thank you, Bob Paff, Baltimore, Maryland talk show host, for doing East Meets West, our first segment of East Meets West. East Meets West will be on next month on the last Sunday of the month. I can't be more happy and prouder of what we do here. I really can't. I'm blessed in so many ways. I'm not, you know, and I'm not, it's not a bunch of baloney. Share, people. Share, share, share. Love you more than anything. Let's get time to get out of here, though. That's the thing. I can talk to you all night. There's always so much to talk about. It's just life. Just in a week, I can tell you. We can talk about all the ass aches. It's kind of entertaining if you... You know what I mean? I get my ass kicked all week, and I can tell you about it. I'm not proud of it. I'm not ashamed of it either. But it's just life. Be kind to one another. We are going through the most funkiest times, and it bugs the shit out of me. Be kind to one another. Please. Green, black, brown, orange. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. If you're a kind, loving person, you're a kind, loving person, regardless of your skin color. We all know this, but we're all falling for all this bullshit that's being put out in front of us in the media. Don't buy in. Think. Please. It's all baloney. Love you guys. Time to go. See you next Sunday night, right? Like clockwork. Have no idea what the hell I'm doing next Sunday night. We've got a couple of things in the air, but we're going to flip a coin and see what sticks. All right, that's it. Peace out. Talk to me during the week and watch the reruns and share. That's it.
Peter G Show. Peter G Show. Peter G Show. Peter G Show. Divorced dad, single dad. Divorced dad, single dad. Peter G Show.